Mhm.
All
Hi,
right, all right. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
Can you hear me very well?
I can.
Okay, great. Okay, I just wanted to make sure the sound was good. Okay, everybody, welcome back, my tribe. Thank you to all our subscribers. Thank you to all our new subscribers. We appreciate all the love we've been getting. And today I have a very special guest. Okay, I want my tribe to welcome a writer, a poet by way of Seattle, Miss Halasi Wisdom Wordsmith, everybody. Thank you, Miss Halasi, for blessing us with your presence today. How are
Thank
you doing,
you.
sister?
I am good. I'm good.
Man, this is my first interview. I'm so nervous.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. It's like an excited energy.
I
So we're gonna
know.
so we're gonna jump right into it. So jump into the questions.
Okay.
Okay. So, can you tell us a little bit about your younger self? Like, when did you first realize that you had a talent for like writing and speaking? When did that first come about?
I might have been in seventh grade. I had
Really?
a teacher who encouraged me to enter what was the name of this writing contest? It Could Happen to You.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. So,
And
but
so yeah,
yeah,
that's
go
how I
ahead. Go ahead.
found out. Hmm.
No, the teacher asked you. The teacher, what class was that?
My language arts class.
Okay. So that's when you kind of knew back then. But what was that feeling like when you wrote something with people like, oh my gosh, did you write that?
Well, so that it could happen to you writing contest, and I don't know, I wrote like a narrative poem,
Hmm.
but I wasn't a performing artist then, right? I was just writing.
Hmm.
So not until I was probably 32 did
Mm.
I get in front of people to
Mm.
perform my actual poetry.
Oh my goodness. I got a question about that too. So when it comes to your poetry, like how can you describe like the feeling, how it feels to be on stage, like in front of people and expressing your art in front of people, like what can you describe to us like what that feels like when you're up on that stage?
Wow. Um, well, I guess when I'm up on stage, the biggest thing is control, right? Like I better know what I'm saying. I better
Right,
know what I'm talking about.
right.
So that the control, I think more than anything to get
Yeah.
people's eyes looking and listening,
Hmm.
to something, that's not just like, oh, listen, because I wrote this, right? But
Right.
I teach people in my poetry.
Hmm. Man,
Everything I do is like education. So,
yes, yes.
yeah.
I just wanted to know how that feeling is because it's like you expressing your artwork in front of people and you never, with how you feel inside, but you never know how the people is going to receive it. But that feeling of just releasing, I bet that just feels like amazing.
It does. It does.
Yes.
I can't even put it into words like you're asking. I'm still like, what does that feel like?
Man, I can imagine though. It got to feel good. It has to
It
feel
does.
great.
It does.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your book, The Story of Naturella? How did that whole thing come about? Because I know you're a mother of six, so I'm like, you writing books too. How did you find time to get that one done?
You know, I told you everything I do is about education, right?
Hmm.
And I think I actually made that story up on the fly. One day I used to work in insurance.
Hmm.
And so I'm at my desk and I'm talking to my coworkers, and it was just an idea. Like, if I wrote a fairy tale, it would be like this. And so the story of Naturella was kind of like this idea that was birthed in front of people. And then after I told the verbal story, and they were
Right.
like, "Oh my God, that's so good," I said, "I better type this up and put it on some paper." But I always
Wow.
strive to teach, right? And so
Hmm.
at that particular time I wrote the book, I was a divorced woman,
Yeah.
and I wanted to leave women and children. I felt like whoever read that book, I wanted
Hmm.
them to understand, that the princess was chosen not because, it was like the shoe fit, but it was really a lesson on authenticity, right? Like
Mm,
if Naturella had changed anything about herself, if
yeah,
she straightened her hair to go to that ball, the
right,
prince would have never found her.
right.
Yeah.
That's deep, man. I haven't got the book yet, but I got everybody the link, and I'm gonna get the book so I can read. Cause it, and
Yes.
what about the illustrations? How did you get link up with that person and all of that?
Oh man, so Geneva Burton is my illustrator,
Yes, Miss
and
Geneva
she's
Burton.
local here in Seattle, Washington.
Wow.
She actually had never illustrated. I went to a trap art show,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw her style of painting, and I
Yes.
knew off top that I wanted her to be the illustrator for that book.
I want them to see a little of that because that's
Mm-hmm.
really dope.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you.
So you guys hooked up, and then you just collaborated like that to make that wonderful story.
Yeah, yeah. When the story first was created, it actually
Mm-hmm.
started as an 11 canvas, a book canvas project. So
Oh,
the
okay.
original story is on canvas,
Mm-hmm.
and it's mixed media. So you can feel the hair, the
Mm-hmm.
dresses, have real fabric.
In that
Our
book.
first, huh?
In that book.
Yeah, well, so the original, right? So
Oh
COVID
yeah.
happened. That's how we got a
That
real
don't
book.
COVID. Wow, because we had to focus then, didn't we?
Yeah.
Man, oh my goodness. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So y'all had the time to be able to sit down and collab like that. That was
Mm-hmm.
really dope.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So what else did I have for you today? I know you do a lot of like not motivational speaking, but like a life coach. A
Yeah.
life coach. So I wanted to ask you this because it is a lot of brothers and sisters out there, since we talked about COVID and the pandemic and things like that, pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, it's a lot of brothers and sisters that's dealing with a lot of hurt and depression. And I
Yeah.
wanted to see if you can give them a little insight about how using their talents and stuff, because we all have gifts.
Hmm.
Using our talents can be healing.
Yeah.
If you can touch on that just a little bit. I mean, as far as what it did for you, or just touch on that for the people.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, my life coaching practice is called Divine Generations Life Coaching.
Okay.
And, everyone is all like, oh, keep it real, right? So when
Mhm.
we're trying to be real,
Right.
we're not really expressing, right? So
No.
at Divine Generations, I say be true and be
Mhm.
you, right?
Yes.
Um, like I said, when I first started performing, I'm like 32 years old, and my ex-husband, he's like, "Yo, you can't go to open mic every week." And I said,
Man,
"Why not?" Like my
I
brain
need
just
this
couldn't.
freedom.
I couldn't get it. So if anything, I always would tell people, keep asking that question, why
Mhm.
not?
Mhm.
Why not? If you have a gift, if you have a talent, if you have an idea, and dealing with depression and anxiety is something I could
Yeah.
relate to.
Yeah.
But I have to always ask myself why. Like, what's
Mhm.
the why?
Right.
That's what keeps me going in everything that I do, being
Do you
connected to my why.
do you find a lot of young women that come to you for advice and things like that? And some of the issues they dealing with, like as far as like relationship things on this channel, I do deal with a lot of when it comes to like female and these young women's relationships and just not knowing how to, they really haven't had any guidance. And I would always say we supposed to be the aunties,
Yeah.
and it's definitely a time for us to step up. So do you have a lot of young women that really take heed, and what do they be saying to you as far as like their problems and things? Because sometimes when they say it to me, I'll be like, that's not a problem. But how
Yeah.
how do you help those sisters out like that?
Yeah, I do. I do. That is a part of what I do is working with young women. Now,
Yes.
surprisingly, when COVID happened, I went
Mm-hmm.
from working with mothers and children to
Mm-hmm.
working with all men.
Okay.
But if when I think of the young women, my biggest thing is always educating them on what is abuse. First of
Yes,
all, you have to be true to yourself, right?
that's
So
right.
if you're in relationship, and that could be with a person or even by yourself, if you are doing things that
Mm-hmm.
don't help you feel authentic, then
Right.
you have to be honest about that, right?
Yes.
But then also knowing signs of abuse. So that's been the biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
As a life coach, I noticed a lot of people have been in these traumatic experiences because they
Hmm.
don't know what abuse is.
Right.
And abuse can come in a variety of forms, right?
Right.
So
Hmm.
it's being honest about what feels good to us, even when we
Hmm.
don't know. Some people don't know they're being emotionally abused,
They don't.
right? But does it
Hmm.
feel good to your soul? If it
Right.
doesn't feel good, then that's your first step of,
Right.
you know, having healthy relationships. So I
Yes.
always tell them, be honest with yourselves. And
Right.
girl, in the first 5 years, I tell all women, I say, yo, the first 5 years are supposed to be fun. So
Right.
if they're
Why you dealing with
stressful,
so much heartbreak? You know,
yes, get out of there. Like year one, you're fighting
right.
somebody's baby mama, probably not what you want.
Probably not. That's probably not what God had planned for you. And you know, I
Right.
say things like, you know, we watch fairy tales and things growing up. I think they don't. I think in their mind, they really do think Jiminy Cricket is gonna come down and be their conscience, but they don't know their own conscience is when they feel that lump in their throat when somebody say something messed up to
Sure.
you. When you
Sure.
feel that sunken feeling when somebody do something to you, you know ain't right. You
Yeah.
know, that's
Yeah.
what they need to understand what their conscience is with that. You know,
Yeah.
that's your conscience trying to guide you, telling you it ain't right. You might have seen abuse, but on even when you seeing it on the inside, you know they ain't right.
Right.
You know that
Right.
man. That's the one thing we do try to get out to them and let them know that.
Yeah. Well, being true to yourself is an inside job,
Right.
right?
It is.
No
It is.
one knows that you're
Right.
being true. Only you know.
Only you know.
Yeah. And
Only
it
you
takes
know.
courage. I like what you said. It takes courage
Yeah.
to be in a situation, even when other people are like, yo, this is right. You
Right.
might be the only one that's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
this isn't right.
Yes. I've been in situations like that. People have told me, girl, you better not leave him. You had 2 kids by
Girl.
him. Yes, I am. If it come down to me and my kids, we out of here.
Yes.
I have to put them first. And
Yeah.
that's something that we really, I want to have you back on the show again to talk about some of those other things.
Oh,
But
I would love to.
what do you have going on right now as far as
Oh,
like
wow.
some upcoming projects and things?
Right now I'm working on my first EP. It's called Womaness.
Ooh.
And it is a women's empowerment album. But
Hmm.
even saying that to you, it feels weird because my music
Yeah.
is for everyone. So yeah, like
Yeah.
the women are going to be most empowered, but
Right.
I think it is something inspirational to men to be able to see a woman's strength and know how to
Hmm.
receive that and not
Yes.
feel intimidated.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I'm having
Oh, that's
fun with
dope. That sounds
Womaness.
dope. But when
Yes,
you make sure you send that over so I can be promoting that and playing
I
that.
will. I
Because it's not
will.
so much it's not about us trying to be stronger than y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just respecting that the
Yeah,
balance have to be respected on both sides, on their side and our side, you know?
definitely.
And if we have that, then we can't lose, you know?
Definitely.
So what are since we're talking about music, what are some of your artists that you listen to? Or, what's the
Yeah.
soundtrack to Wisdom Wordsmith's life?
I am like a little I tell all my friends, I said, girl, I'm feel ancient, right? So
Really?
the some of the artists I listen to that inspire me, like Curtis Mayfield, Alice Coltrane.
Yeah.
I'm heavy
You speaking my language.
on music. Yeah, like I'm a musician. I used to play the clarinet in band.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, like it's not always people.
Hmm.
It's sometimes just sounds that
Yes.
inspire me. But like Tony.
Yes.
I also cover and do cover music
Oh,
and add
really?
poetry with it. So
Mm.
I listen to rappers like Queen Latifah. Those people
Yes.
inspire me. I couldn't say if anything new age.
Right.
Uh, I'm a little snob when it comes to music. I
Me
be
too.
trying not to listen to people too much because I
I
don't want
agree.
someone's sound infecting me. But
That's true. Isn't that true? Because you can be influenced and think you made it up and you didn't even make it up.
no,
Somebody else that was already man, you know what? You're right. And as I feel like as I've gotten older, I've started listening to more jazz music because I can
hmm
create my own story. And I didn't used to
yeah,
understand that. How do you? And I know you named a lot of artists. You're not boxed in, But what about you? You like jazz? What about your jazz game?
I do love jazz. Kenny G is my favorite, but
Yes,
girl, like blues too.
I like the blues
What is
too.
her name? Denise LaSalle and Johnny
Yes,
Taylor.
as
Like
hell.
the blues. Yeah,
Mm.
Lady in the Streets, girl. That's my favorite
You
blues
gonna have to
song.
send that over to me.
I'm a Cindy girl. You
My
go.
auntie Penny play the blues all the time, but I don't remember that. But you're gonna have to send that one over.
Oh yeah. I will. Yeah, I'm inspired by just a lot of different things. If I had to answer musically, and because I do sing, I'm a
Yeah.
poet that sings. So, um, people like Janae Aiko, Summer
Yes.
Walker, I like people's voices that
Yes.
stretch mine.
Me too. And Scissor.
Yes, I love SZA.
I like their wordplay because we got a lot in common because I write too. I write music as well and I sing as well. And you hitting it right on the nose with that. It's just something like we can't listen to people's stuff too long, especially if you in a creative mode. You can't listen to nothing but your own stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, if we I'm not really into all like the hip hop side of everything. I'm more like you said, a Queen Latifah,
Mm-hmm.
Moni Love, those kind of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Uplifting.
Yes.
A Lauren
Yes.
Hill.
I know. I was just listening to Foxy Brown at work the other day. Like, ooh,
Foxy
I think I'm
Brown.
about to write something.
You see what I'm saying? This is what I've been talking about, man. Where are these people at? Like, it ain't no balance in this thing. It's no
Yeah.
balance. It used to be a
Yeah.
time where if you want to listen to Lil Kim, you can listen to Lil Kim, but we also had Eve. We
Yeah.
also had Lauren Hill. And now it's
Yeah.
just so much of it's just so uneven.
It is.
But
It
hopefully we can
is.
bring some of this good stuff back for our generation. I don't
Oh
know about
yeah.
I don't know about them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why I like what I do because I think like even sitting here talking to you, I'm thinking of my favorite song, like I said, my EP, Womaness. That
Mm,
was a poem, girl. Like it was a little first it started off as a chant that I used to
really?
just have the hook in the shower. And then
Mm,
I got words to it. And so yeah, like Womaness.
I
I
like
love that.
that.
I love that poem.
So, are you gonna maybe do a little bit for us today?
I am.
Yes.
I am.
All right, man. I gotta tell my tribe. My tribe. This is an exclusive right here because we're getting ready to pop off this dope poetry jam thing where we getting artists, musicians, sculptors, and getting them on the show so y'all can have a platform, do y'all thing, and bring more people to it. It's about building. We trying to build over here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let you do your thing, sister.
All right. Okay, so usually do I got time? Do I do one or two?
You can do as many as you
Okay.
want, on this platform.
Sweet. So my favorite poem, whenever people meet me, my
Uh-huh.
introduction is tree, right?
Okay.
So I can be a tree for you, provide fruit for you,
Mhm.
shade, cool shade, cover you from the rain and all those nasty elements. Oh yes, baby, I am a tree for you. Sit beside me at campouts and cookouts. Climb up my magical arms. They always lift you up. Oh, yes, I can be a tree for you. Then I say, I can be a tree for you, provide fruit for you,
Yes.
shade, cool shade, cover you from the rain. Now, I tell people it's important. They're like, what the hell? I could be a tree for you. Yes, trees and humans have a symbiotic relationship. That means that their waste is something we need to live, which is oxygen, and our waste, carbon monoxide, is something they need to live, right? So that automatically creates a symbiotic relationship. And I tell people, I say, yo, if God was that smart to make trees and humans, we could feed off each other's waste, then it's kind of an example to how we should be in relationship, right? And this next poem is called Womaness. So I have reclaimed my womanness, saying it out loud every morning and to myself. My womanness doesn't fit into the box of the feminist nor the patriot. It is not the plain Jane or the seductress, but my womanness is permissive and instructive. It is not one thing that I do or don't do, and it damn show ain't all about chores, cooking, or bathing children. Yet it fulfills all purposes. Staying in the present time for my own needs as well as the moments for others. I have reclaimed my womanness, my strength, my peace, my dignity, my creativity, and all of the possibilities. My womanness puts me in touch with my vulnerabilities, the splendor of my femininity, the majesty of my masculinity. I have reclaimed my womanness. Peace.
I love that. I'm gonna do
Thank
some
you.
snaps. Oh my God, that was
Thank
beautiful,
you.
sister. Look at you. That
Girl,
was
thank you. I
beautiful.
usually have music to that. I didn't bring no tracks because I like when people bring me on as a poet because you can actually hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, that
Sometimes
was
the music
raw. I
takes
love
away.
that.
Thank you.
So you said next time you want to have some music.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like when someone introduces you the first time, I just like no music so they can hear what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
yes.
that's true.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful. And I want to thank you so very much for coming on this show
Thank you
and
for
and
having
and
me.
letting everybody see your beautiful talents. Like I told everybody, the book is already out. Please
Yep.
go get it. The story of Naturella. It's
Yes.
already out. And she already probably blew a whole bunch of people's minds just now. Let me show the book one more time for the people.
Yes.
Beautiful. Man. So I gotta have you back on again.
Oh, I'm ready. Bring me
Cause I
back.
had to test your temperament. And now I see we can go in, we can talk about some things together, man.
Yes, we
Let's build
can.
together, sister. That's what it's all about. Us building together. And like I
Definitely.
said, whenever you finish any of them tracks, I would love to play it, because
Oh,
that
for
so,
sure.
so it can start being other people's soundtrack to their lives.
Oh, yeah.
Now
Oh,
I
yeah.
do got one more question though. One
Okay.
more question.
Okay.
So if you can go back in time and tell your younger self something, what would you tell young Halasi?
Oh, my God. What would I tell her? Mm, hmm.
Take your time.
Man, I would tell her, you're dope. You're dope. And I don't want to cuss. I'm like, you ain't
You
no
can
cussing
curse.
on here,
You can
right?
curse. Yes, it is.
I'd be like, yo, you're dope as fuck. Don't ever
Right.
let nobody take that from you.
Hmm.
You know, yeah, she needed to know that.
Yeah. I'm having such a good time. I got one more. I got one more
Yeah,
for
come
you.
on.
If you cool. I know.
I like it.
Okay, good, cool. So I know you're a mom and everything. How important is it that your kids seeing what you're doing as far as like my mom wrote a book and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How important is it for you to see for them to see you doing what you're doing, man?
Oh man, they are the driving force of everything that I do.
Hmm.
The name of my business is Divine Generations because my kids are also creatives and they're
Yeah.
artists. So they
Wow.
sing, sew, paint. Just the other day, my 4-year-old, she come up to me and she says, "Mom, I wrote a song. Do you want to hear it?" And I said, "Yeah." So she'll stand, she gets her position together because they've seen me on stage,
What?
and girl, like she'll sing she sings these little Disney songs, okay, but she remixes them.
She been singing
So
in
it's
concho.
helping them. Yeah, it helps them get their voice. And so
Hmm.
it's divine generations because I didn't want to create something where I wanted to make a name where they could just plug all their things,
Yeah.
no matter what they did. And so, yeah, it's extremely, my kids, they're the whole reason I do this.
That's
I
awesome,
told my ex-husband, if I live so great, like the way that I'm living, I want my grandchildren are going to know like this is
man.
the
Hmm.
standard.
That's
Not
right.
because you have to, but because
Come
we
on.
want to be
That's
excellent.
right.
Cuz grandma, cuz mom,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm. Yep. Yep. You daggone right. But you got a lot of little talented artists running around there, huh?
Yes, girl. My daughter, she's part of my media team. I work in entertainment,
Hmm.
elite entertainment here in
Okay.
Seattle, Washington. And my daughter, she helps me make documents and flyers and so they're not just working with me in a creative capacity, but also in a skill set capacity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they building with mommy too. They showing that, we got in the family, we all help each other. Everybody got a gift, and we're gonna all use each other's gifts,
Yep.
to help better the family. That is just
Definitely.
awesome. Well, I'm gonna
Thank
go
you.
ahead. I'm gonna let you get back to them. And I
Okay.
just want to thank you again so much for coming on and sharing your art and all
Thank
that
you.
you do. And like I said, I got the link in the description for everybody to go and get the book. I can't wait to see the book. I'll definitely be promoting it on the show.
Thank
And
you.
we got to have you back on here again. We'll schedule something. We'll talk after the show.
Oh, we will.
But
Thank you so
you got
much.
anything else you want to say to the people while you out here?
I just want to say be true, be you.
Be true, be you.
Be
In
true, be
my
you.
tribe, like I always tell you guys, do unto others you would have them do unto you. Because if not, you ain't gonna be able to run into nice people like this right here, talented jack of all trades. Okay, so until next time, you guys, peace out, my tribe,
Peace.
pieces.